I was talking to a friend about some drops in Monster Hunter Rise, and preparing and getting ready for Sunbreak to come out at the end of the next month. They got me thinking about how RNG drops are kind of like life, where you keep doing certain things, hoping for that thing to happen, and you hit a lot of duds. And what do I mean by that? Say you're hunting, like say the Almadron, you want that golden ore because you need it to make the final switch axe weapon or whatever weapon you need, or maybe you need it for a decoration or anything that needs a golden orb, right? But it's got like a 3% drop rate. So you sit there and you grind and you fought him 2 times, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and by the 20th time and it still hasn't dropped, you start to hit this space where you just think, man, maybe I should just stop. Maybe I should quit. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get it. The chances and probability of you getting are so low. But your friends, you look around that you've been hunting with, have all gotten it. They've gotten 6, 7, 8, 9 during this period of time. So you know it's possible to get it. But you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and hoping that you get it. And I think that's something that I realize now, thinking about my own personal life. There are a lot of things that I've given up on simply because I was not willing to put in the effort to keep pushing for that rare drop to actually drop. I gave up when the RNG wasn't in my favor, just because everybody else was making it ahead and kind of just moving through life. And that is my own failing. And playing Monster Hunter is such a great experience because it's not a game that really holds your hands. I know a lot of people may disagree. Rise is a lot easier of a game compared to some of the earlier ones, but I've been with Monster Hunter as a series for a long time, playing on the PSP back in the day, playing on Wii U, 3DS, like all this time, and seeing the improvements come through this series, knowing how hard it was to make progress. And still that is true even to this day in Monster Hunter. Those rare drops, there's nothing you can truly do to affect that rare drop. Monster Hunter World did have a system with the golden ticket system to allow you to guarantee a rare drop for whatever hunt you were doing. But in Rise, it's very different. You can't manipulate or force something to happen in that hunt. So you just have to keep doing it and keep trying and hoping and praying, like, please, can I get that Nargacuga medulla? Please, I just need it. I need it. I want to make the dual blades for him. I need it for some decoration I need to make, or for anything that you might need it for. And I think RPGs can show us, or games in general can show us things that are life lessons, things that we can take and internalize and kind of apply to our life today. And that's something I've seen with a lot of games. There's a lesson you can take from everything. I think a lot of people write off games because the lessons that they have aren't apparent. And it's just like this, like I was discussing here, some kids can learn right and wrong from a video game. Like, hey, it's not good to shoot the townspeople because X reason. And then that teaches them the right and wrong in life. But specifically in this case, the concept of putting in hard work, regardless of the end result, because eventually success will happen, is something that you can really only get in a game where the focus is grinding. I play a lot of JRPGs, and I know getting that character to max level is going to take some work, and it's going to take a lot of time. But once you're at max level, I know the job's done. It's going to be a success. So you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But when you start randomizing the elements of that progression, you can kind of get stuck and then get upset because you are just locked into a very particular mindset because your progression isn't apparent. But in some ways, you're still making progression because you're learning as you go through that thing and trying and pushing and continue to repeat it and just making the effort to get this done. And that teaches you to not give up. And that's something that I'm going to start trying to apply to my life going forward. Initially, when I released that video last week, the Halo community rant, I thought about giving up. This week, I'm recording this like the day that I uploaded the previous one 7 weeks prior, or 7 days prior. So not 7 weeks, God, what am I saying? And this time, I haven't recorded any gameplay footage. I haven't recorded, I'm recording this audio late at night before I have to go to sleep for work tomorrow, or really in 6 hours I have to be up. But I realized I need to stop quitting and stick to what I've set in front of me. And Monster Hunter, that I've been playing it a lot this week, has shown me I can still make progress towards my goals simply by just doing something routine and not stopping doing it. And I think I've gotten so used to just waking up, dreading going to work, and just being like, I'm at work for 8 hours. Well, this sucks. Come home, and then just staring at all the things that I haven't accomplished and just thinking, well, eventually I'll get to it. And that eventually never comes because I never start. But I gave up because it was taking so long to see success. And that's the biggest problem. It's kind of, like I said, this is like the RNG of waiting for that rare drop in Monster Hunter, where you need that Wrath Ruby or a golden orb from the Almudron, or any other super hard to get drop, something that's like 1% or 3%, and it's very specific as to how that thing, I get that resource. Because you haven't gotten it yet, you're more willing to give up because you have not seen progress. But you're not paying attention to the progress you make in other areas. Like, I'm getting better at hunting that same monster. I'm getting better at being more efficient in prepping for the hunt. I'm getting other resources during the process. I'm getting other materials that I can use to better myself in other ways. And the same is true in life. I am getting more things by just going to work, sitting there, because it shows dedication, shows drive, and that I am capable of doing that. So now I just need to take that same thing and apply it to the things that I actually want to do. Like YouTube, working on my game, working on my gun plot. These are all things that I'll get hyper focusing on, and then I'll stop working on because I get frustrated or I lose my drive for it. And instead of applying that same, regardless of the success, keep pushing. And I think that's a good lesson overall. I know it's a very different style of video, and at this point in time, I'm not even sure what I really want to do with this YouTube channel. But I'm going to stick to it. At least one video, 10 minutes long, every week about something different. Whether it's video games or just talking about something that happened during my day. That's what this channel is going to be. So, comment, tell me how much you think my opinion sucks or how crazy I sound. Thank you for watching.